A lot of these videos talk about negative influences being around you, and I think they're at the moment kind of promoting this almost maybe dangerous agenda where they're saying if somebody's negative, just get rid of them. And obviously, we all have people that we love in our lives that may not share the same views as us, and maybe we're trying to do something that's a bit different, and maybe it's a bit scary for them, or they don't quite understand it. But I think is really what we need to understand as people is we need to realize who is there for us. And they may be there for different reasons, and they may not be being the best influence for what you're trying to do, or maybe not understand it quite right. But I think it's almost conflict avoiding, which ends up creating over time more barriers and more distance with these people that you love. And maybe, as good as a short-term solution, but as a long-term solution, getting rid of your family isn't really, sometimes unfortunately, all that possible. So you may need to get through a few of these conflicts and maybe have a few of these conversations, which are always going to be uncomfortable and always going to be difficult to have. But I think is really, realizing who is there for you, and realizing that you want them there, and then having these conversations and approaching it maybe with the direction of you're always there for me, right? And or why are you not being there for me in this instance, or why are you not being there for me or supporting me within this thing, not in an aggressive tone or a accusational, but in more of a explorative question. Why are you struggling with this? What about it? And I think at this point they'll give you some very key insights as to what their issue is they'll say, and I think it's important to address these things with people, as they'll say, I don't think you're gonna make it, or I don't think you're that good, or I don't think this is gonna happen, I don't think, and I think the more you delve into each of these questions as to why I've been surrounded by people in my life and situations where is probably been extremely negative and very detrimental, but is without you doing anything, you can't change it and you can't start to switch it. So I think is once you start having these conversations with people and then working backwards, which I think is always a good strategy, is why do you not believe this about me, and then do you believe it's true? As an individual, and then you can start to have those conversations and go, okay, look, I don't agree with you on this, but I still love you and I want you to be there for me and support me, and if it all does go right, we can laugh about this, and if it all does go wrong, then you can say you told me so, but either way we'll be doing this together and we'll go through this journey together. I want you to be there for me. And I think I'm not saying that's the answer to all situations, but I think the conversation should be being had as the opposite to the normal. Just get rid of these people. Just get rid of these people. Just get rid of these people, and just stop surrounding yourself with them. I think is having these conversations and maybe bringing them on board. Even from I have some friends like that, but literally make fun of everything I do, and now it's become almost an entertaining relationship that we have, because whenever I do something new, it's like, oh, Danny's doing this, or oh, he's doing that, and it's a great relationship, even though they're not being negative towards what I'm doing, because we've harnessed it into a different type of relationship now, where it's more entertaining, but now they can be a part of it in a different way. So people will be a part of your journeys in different ways. So don't try and categorize them all into one box of they must be supporting everything, they must be doing it in this way, because that's really your own expectations of how you want them to be. And they may just not be capable of giving you that. But they can do it in their own way and their own expression of it. And whatever that expression is you can identify it and then take it as a positive thing, even if they are being jokingly negative, or I have some friends like that now I just make fun of every time. And like I said, it's enjoyable relationship to have, whereas if it was taken personally, would be a very conflict-driven relationship. So if maybe this encourages some of you that have maybe gotten rid of some of these people to reach back out, and like I said, it's not a catch-all for all situations. I don't say that by any means, but I think is the conversation should be being had of what's the other side, what does it look like when these conversations are had, and how do these relationships grow and develop in a different ways, in a way that's positive for you that may not be positive at the moment. So I hope this helps.